The weather forecast said rain all day. I was about to put up my trainer in the morning, but no, I can actually go for a ride. Today we are going to go up another of the iconic climbs, which is called Weißer Stein, the white stone. I'm going to keep it road and not off-road today because, well, it was rainy and snowing in the last days, so up there might still be snow conditions. Off-road might be, well, not too good for riding. But as you can see, as we cross the Neckar over this bridge here, the conditions outdoor are really great and it's nice, lovely, sunny weather. The ride starts pretty flat until we arrive in Dossenheim, where then our ascent to Weißer Stein begins. If rain is predicted and you have this kind of weather, these are really just the best days. The thing that was really cool on this ride was we got closer and closer to the sun. As you can see, initially we are still in the shadows and every once in a while the sun comes through between the trees and the leaves, but the higher we get, the closer we come, and it is actually quite magical. I mean, look at this, how the sun is shining here, and it really feels like soon we will get you, soon we will be there. So let's talk a bit about the climb itself. The official verified Strava segment, yes, we do have one of these here for Weißer Stein, is 5.25 kilometers with an average gradient of 7.5%. But what you need to know is the steepest parts are in the beginning of the climb. There are even 15% ramps, and then it gets flatter at the top. And the Strava segment doesn't actually get up to the highest point, the Weißer Stein Tower and Beer Garden, but it stops before this, so the entire climb is more like 6.3 kilometers long and about 6.3 average gradient. I'm still a bit sick, so you see I'm completely out of breath, even though, like watts wise, I just did sweet spot. Heart rate wise, I'm not far from max, but besides that, beautiful day for a climb. As I'm climbing this, I have to admit, there are a few more cars coming up here than I thought, but that's if you're on the road and not off-road. So I took down the watts to endurance pace, but my heart rate is not coming down, so I'm a bit more labored than I should be right now. It's not as hard as it looks normally. It looks and sounds a bit like the rain that was promised is finally coming. I hope it's not, but I'm not super optimistic, to be honest. And here we are approaching the top of Weißer Stein. The building you see here in the front is the pub, where in season you can also find the beer garden. In the back there there is a large telecommunications tower, but we just make a quick turnaround and off we go down again. So we just went briefly up to the Weißer Stein, where the beer garden currently in winter of course isn't open, but starting in spring, summer, you have this cool beer garden there where you can have a coffee, have something to eat if you want to, so that is good. We will definitely revisit this location when it's open. But yeah, I also didn't want to make any kind of extended stop because I hope that I can beat the rain, which I would say 70% likelihood is coming. Look at this. So it's a lot going on today out here, even though the weather is no longer good, but it was so good before. Here's a little fun fact. So I was doing this ride during the week in the middle of the day, and I was quite surprised how many people I was meeting already when going up, but now here in this section so many people are hiking and walking around. And just when I returned home, I found out that it actually was a bank holiday, and that was a good explanation for why there were so many people. Are you enjoying this ride? Does it look cool? Then I would be stoked if you gave a like to the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course you can find the route for this and for all the other Riding Heidelberg rides in the official Komoot collection, which I link to down in the description. So if you ever make it out to Heidelberg for some riding, you know where to go and how to do it. And if there are any places you want me to visit or show in an upcoming video, write it down in the comments. As you can see, we now have left the woods, and you can also see we are on the road descending from Weißer Stein. The roads, as you can also see, are quite wet and it's around 0 degrees, so potentially slippery, which also means I'm descending this rather on the careful side. Say what you want, you will see the switchback here. I do it like a old man, slow man, but that is how I do it. If it looks like this. I mean, come on, look, you don't know. If that is ice, you go down, and I really don't want to go down. I have kids. Do you? I certainly do. You saw that I didn't send the descent full on. I took the curves carefully because it was looking quite wet. You may even say I was taking them fearful. Maybe that's correct. Since I broke my collarbone, I feel like my descending became a bit scared. Maybe also more reasonable, who knows. But I'm definitely considering doing like a descending class at some point to get back the confidence in my cornering and descending. If you have any good recommendations for Germany-based people for a descending class, cornering class, let me know in the comments. But then on the other hand, I'm also dead and I'm not a pro athlete, so being a bit reasonable and not going completely to the edge in every corner when you're out for a training ride, probably also the reasonable approach, to be honest. Now we are back in Heidelberg, but we are adding a bit more climbing, going up to the castle via what is called Schloss Wolfsbrunnenweg. The overall climb here is 2.3 kilometers at an average gradient of 4.4%. However, that is kind of a fake news climb because the first kilometer averages more than 8%, so it's really steep in the beginning and then it gets a lot flatter. So I could have gone home when I was in Heidelberg, but I decided to add this second climb here. But now it's starting to rain. I asked for it, I guess. But this climb here is near and dear to me. I used to live up here above the castle of Heidelberg before we moved down to the city. So good old times when this was my way back home. And now we are arriving at the castle, which you can see on our right hand side. Coming up, there are also the gardens. If you want to make a stop, you can get down there, enjoy a bit the gardens. You can have the magnificent view over the castle, or from down there you can watch all over Heidelberg. Me, I prefer to jump straight into the descent. Up here, I give you good advice. On bank holidays like this or on weekend days, there can be a lot of traffic, a lot of people, so be a bit careful. I don't want to be stuck behind these cars. Sometimes I go by them, but depending on how much there is, you better don't. So I make a little stop to take this nice little shot over Heidelberg. You can do this as well. And then I bump down the descent and get back to Heidelberg. And with that, we are almost back. This loop has ended. Again, if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. And of course, check out the Komoot collection for these rides. And let me know in the comments if there is anything else that you would like to see from our beautiful region here in a upcoming Riding Heidelberg episode.